1004, 150 years after the rumbling that destroyed the entire world. The world has recovered and stabilized, and nations have emerged from the ruins. Human civilization has returned to every corner of the earth. Eldia has become a superpower. Technology, healthcare, education, and science are advancing at a rapid pace. Eldia continues to contribute to the progress of the modern world. However, their image as demons is still not forgotten. In the south of Eldian territory, the people of Erin felt they were being treated unequally and marginalized by the Eldian government. The Erin people rose up in resistance and succeeded in seizing several key locations. In response to this rebellion, Eldia sent 2,000 soldiers to re-establish its authority, and the rebellion was successfully crushed. However, this inspired non-Eldians in other regions to rebel, prompting Eldia to declare a state of martial law. Approximately 6,000 soldiers were deployed throughout the territory to maintain order. News of the rebellion reached the international community. The United Nations urged Eldia to refrain from military violence against civilians. But they are not listening. The Union of States persuaded other nations to join the war against Eldia to liberate the people in the Eldian Empire. April 1006. Eldia refused to relinquish Erfurt. The rebellion, which had been ongoing for 5 years, was supported by the International, and the world condemned Eldia's violent actions. On April 10, the Eldian government dispatched 3,000 Marines and 600 paratroopers to seize the city of Rock, the center of the rebellion. April 12, 10 a.m. Eldian Marines entered the city of Rock from the west. Despite having IFVs, it was still difficult for the Eldian Marines to break through the rebels' defenses, while paratroopers quickly took control of the northern part of the city. The rebels were forced to retreat to the south of the city. In the end, they had no choice but to surrender to the Eldian Marines. The city was captured in less than 4 hours. This, however, sparked public condemnation. James Hammerson, president of the Union of States, addressed the world, threatening Eldia to leave Erfurt as soon as possible or face the consequences. The United Nations gave them 3 months to leave. Today is the darkest day for the people of Erfurt. A war maniac named Thomas Rice and Robert Muller has just oppressed the people of Erfurt with his thousands of soldiers. Erfurt must return to the suffering they had cast aside for years. This is a warning. Leave Erfurt as soon as possible or face the consequences. May 6. UOS forces were deployed along the Eldian border. Approximately 200 tanks, 6,000 personnel, and 30 aircraft were deployed along the border, with more to come. June 13. 36 countries agreed to join the impending battle. Troop numbers increased to 14,000 personnel, 600 tanks, and 45 aircraft. Eldia was urged to make a decision immediately. Prime Minister Robert Muller still refused to relinquish Erfurt on the orders of King Thomas Rice. However, Eldia was given until August 1 at the latest. July 18. Eldia appears to be ready for war. They have deployed 200,000 soldiers, hundreds of tanks and dozens of fighter aircraft to the border. It is estimated that over 1 million soldiers from the Eldian Empire have been mobilized for the battle. Public opinion is divided. Some argue that an invasion of Eldia is justified to liberate the occupied territories and address the history of genocide committed by Eldians. Others claim that the UOS merely wishes to eliminate other superpowers so that it remains the sole superpower in the world. July 20. Total 56 countries agreed to join the coalition. There was no turning back. The only option was to go to war to liberate the people under Eldian occupation. July 25. The military forces of the entire coalition began to assemble and were about to launch an attack. However, the United Nations held the coalition back from attacking prematurely and demanded that Eldia release 7 regions. Yet King Thomas remains adamant that he will not relinquish these territories for the sake of the glory of the Eldian Empire. He is even confident that he can hold off the entire coalition and has called upon all of Eldia to fight alongside him. The Eldians themselves are deeply divided over this war. They still doubt Eldia's ability to wage large-scale warfare, especially as they are facing almost the entire world. But then King Thomas gave a speech, which was broadcast live on television and social media. 152 years ago, Aaron committed genocide against 80% of the world's population. Should we be proud of that? Am I proud? Of course not. But the genocide he committed was a battle fought for the survival of all of us, the Eldian people. Ymir, our ancestor, entrusted the survival of Eldia to all of us, her descendants. This is not about right or wrong, but about us or them. His speech persuaded the majority of the Eldians to support this war. Although there were still quite a few who doubted the Empire's ability to wage war. July 31st. The war is about to begin, there will be no further negotiations. The UN has authorized the coalition to carry out the liberation by military means. James Hammerson delivered a speech declaring that war was about to begin. The public is wondering, why now? Why not wait a little longer? Because the world can no longer wait. Eldia has been oppressing and discriminating against non-Eldians within its territory. They have invaded Erfurt. We imposed sanctions on them, but Robert Mueller remains stubborn and refuses to leave Erfurt. And soon it will not just be Erfurt, Valencia and Foggia are living in fear of an Eldian invasion in the near future. We cannot wait any longer. With this, Operation Absolute Freedom begins.